blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Hi friends, Dave Peterson here, davesguitarplanet.com. How's it going? Today we've got Blackbird by Paul McCartney of the Beatles. If you're young, you might have trouble remembering them. If you're old, you certainly don't have. There's a whole bunch of videos out on YouTube teaching you how to play Blackbird. So I was trying to figure out how can I make mine a little bit different. I wanted to cover the song because it's such a great song. It's one of my favorites. It's a classic. And as you might know, I like to delve into music theory a little bit, so I want to get into the harmony of the song and a little bit of the music theory behind it. So first I'm just going to teach you quickly how to play it, and you'll have an opportunity to get my PDF score, which it has the 5-line staff score and the 6-line tab for the guitar showing which frets to play, and you get the timing and everything. Probably the trickiest part, or if you watch the other videos, they spend some time on this. And sometimes I vary it. But it involves flicking your first finger over the 3rd and 2nd string, the G string and the B string. Now I'm up on the 10th fret with my first finger on the A string, and I've got my little finger on the 12th fret of the B string. And this is part of a G chord. We've got a root of a G chord and a 3rd. So in a second we'll talk about that particular interval. So the picking, I'm doing a pinch. So like you're pinching somebody, both notes at the same time. The 5th string with my thumb of my right hand, or my picking hand, and the 2nd string with my first finger. Actually, in my case, I often use my 2nd finger, but other people use their first finger. I'm going to use my 2nd finger, so I do a pinch with these two, and then a down strum first finger, and I want mainly the G and the B string to sound. So to deaden the D string, I'm just touching it with this part of my first finger. So, and I'm also obviously not hitting the bottom E string, and I'm also muting the upper E string, the top E string, the highest sounding one, with the fatty part of my little finger here. So we've really got just 3 notes ringing: the A string, the G string, and the B string. If the D string rings, it's not a crime because it's in the chord, but I think what McCartney's actually doing is just 3 strings. So a little bit of an art to muting the strings that aren't supposed to ring. Pinch with your thumb and first finger or 2nd finger, 5th string, 2nd string. Down strum with your first finger. Okay, so pinch, down strum, thumb on the root on the A string. Then a up strum, down strum with first finger. And that's pretty much the whole thing. I've simplified it to that. If you watch McCartney and most professionals, they vary it a little bit. It's not like they're reading sheet music. So, and that happens quite a bit in the song, so I just wanted to attack that first. Now let's talk about tenths. The song is basically built on the interval of a tenth. If you've watched some of my videos before, we've talked about thirds. If we played a G note on the 5th fret of the D string and a B note with our first finger on the 4th fret of the G string, play them together, you might know they kind of comes out of this G bar chord. So what McCartney did is, instead of playing this root here, he plays this G down here. And the interval, instead of a third, 1, 2, 3, becomes a 10th, because if we count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from here to here is an interval of a 10th. And it's a really nice interval because it separates the bass from the upper note. And if it sounds classical, you're correct, because it's used in a lot of classical music. So if now we take the note on the E string and the G string and play our diatonic series, this becomes a major shape. I got 3rd fret bottom E G note, 4th fret G string a B note, which is the 3rd of a G major triad. And it's kind of comfortable to play it with 2nd finger and 3rd finger, for example. Then we go up to A minor, and now we've got a minor 3rd. So both on this 5th fret, I'm using my 3rd finger, 5th fret of the bottom E, little finger, 5th fret of the G string, and that makes a minor 10th interval in A minor. If we continue up the diatonic series, we go up a whole step to B, same fret, and that'd be from a B minor. And then the next chord, the 4 chord, is major, so we can go back to a major shape, 8th fret, 9th fret, 10th fret and 11th fret from the D major, and then E minor on the 12th fret, both on the 12th fret, up to the 14th fret for that minor shape, F sharp, and then back to a major shape. So if we played tenths on the E and G strings, so McCartney built the song around that, but instead of playing it like this, he goes like this. If we use the A string and the B string to play tenths, now it comes out of this C bar chord shape. If we play the 5th string and the B string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a 10th from a C chord. This is what the tenths look like between the A string and the B string. We've got 2 frets apart, 3rd fret, 5th fret. I'm on the 5th fret with my little finger B string. The 5 chord in G is another major chord, D. 5th fret, 7th fret. Now it goes to a minor chord, E minor, so 7th fret, 8th fret. I'm using my 2nd finger, little finger. And then here's to our diminished chord. We got another minor 10th, and then back to G major here, 2 frets apart. That's all you wanted to know about the interval of a 10th, and let's just quickly review the song then. Starts off pretty much like this. So he's got 3rd fret of bottom E, open B. That's a 10th from this grip, you know, the common G grip. Then from A minor, we've got the A, open A, 5th string, 1st fret of B string. And then you could call this a first inversion G chord or a B minor chord. So we've got 2nd fret A string, 3rd fret B string, and then he slides all the way up to 10th fret A, 12th fret B, back to the G tonic chord. And between each one, I think he's doing something like this. I'm not going to try to tell you note perfect what McCartney does, but it's what I do is in between each pinch, I'm pinching that, I play the open G string. So it's like this. So pinch, open G, pinch, open G, pinch, open G, slide up to 10th and 12th fret, and then do that strumming figure. And he sings, "Blackbird singing in the dead of night." Sometimes I go to town on that little strum. It took me a while to learn it, and then I liked it so much I do it probably too much. Then it goes, take these broken wings and learn to fly. So if we analyze that, it's the 10th from a C chord, this one. Then it actually goes to a diminished 7 chord, if you know that grip. If you don't, not a big deal. But we use diminished 7th chords as passing chords a lot. So we've got this C chord, then he's got 4th fret of the A string, 3rd fret of the top E string to just pass through that to another major 10th interval, 5th fret A string, 7th fret B string from a D bar chord kind of grip to another diminished 7 2-note pinch, this time 6th fret, 5th fret. So that again is, and with an open G in the middle of each of those, pinch, open G, pinch, open G, and now to from an E minor, this grip, we've got 7th fret, 8th fret, and we do the strum. Now he opens this up to a major 10th. This was a minor 10th, here's a major 10th. Again, trying to mute the D string and the top E and not play the bottom E. That's 6th fret, 8th fret, and that whole thing goes down 1 fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, and then to another one of these diminished pinches, 4th fret, 3rd fret, top E string, with a G droning in the middle, to the C major 10th, 3rd fret, 5th fret, with that strum, goes to effectively a C minor from a C major. A common thing in music is to make the 4 chord, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. We're on the 4 chord in G, to minor, to move back towards the tonic. And then that slides down a half step each note to 2nd fret A, 3rd fret B. Again, doing the strum. Now what I do, and I'm not sure exactly what McCartney does, he does something a little bit simpler. I go to a 7 chord. I kind of like how this works. So I'm got 1st finger, 2nd fret D string, 2nd finger, 2nd fret B string, little finger, 3rd fret, top E string. That makes an A7 chord with 2 7s in it, if you know theory. Pinching the A and the B string, doing that strum, and now I like to go to a D suspended 7 chord, which sounds like this. So now this is the root, open D, and 2nd finger, 2nd fret of G, 1st finger, 1st fret of B, little finger, 3rd fret of top E, and then back home to the tonic. Let me do that whole middle section, starting from frets 3 and 5, this major 10th. Minor, slide, A7, D, suspended 7, G. Okay, again, I'm going to go through this kind of fast. There's lots of other videos out there that you can review too. The B section, I guess you would call it, it goes up to an F 10th. This would be 8th fret of the A string, first finger, 10th fret of the B string, little finger. That's our major shape. Then it goes down to 7th and 8th fret to a minor shape. Effectively like F, E minor, D minor, C, B is what we're going to be doing. And it just only playing the root and this high third. F, E minor, D minor, C, B flat major. I like to slide up to the C again, and with a droning G in between each of them, and the strum. I like to slide up like that. Can't remember if McCartney does that. That repeats a couple times with this lyric. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly. And now to that same A7. Into the light of the dark black night. A little bit too high for my voice. Sometimes I sing it an octave lower. Into the light of the dark black night. And then I like to just do the turnaround. Again, this is sort of my own version that's evolved over the years. I think McCartney does something like that, maybe a little bit faster. And then the second verse, blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free. And you could do the bridge again. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly, into the light of the dark black night. All right, went through it kind of fast, gave you a little bit of information about the harmonic structure of it, and talked about tenths quite a bit. Same as the third, but the third is up an octave, so it becomes a tenth. You can get my tab, which is maybe unlike some of the other videos, extremely clear as exactly what notes to play. It's slightly simplified in some parts, but I think it's pretty close. I hope you check it out, and I'll see you next time.